Welcome back to the vlog. Today we will be writing music as we always do for Adventure Archives, the show on youtube.com/Adventure Archives. I believe I mentioned somewhere already where we went. It was just me and Andrew this time. I think it's going to be a very good episode. The trip itself was incredible. But I've already written one song for the episode. We will continue to do that today. In the meantime, please enjoy this unboxing from your fellow viewer, Christian. Christian, thank you for the stuff. This is an embarrassment of riches. Hello Adventure Archives, greetings from Tennessee. I pieced together a package of some of my favorite ramen, Japanese curry, and some local treats that you can use and enjoy on one of your future trips. I also included a tent tarp hammock lamp that should be less stressful than the one requiring an open flame. Hopefully everything in the box serves you all well. May credo continue to bless each of you and keep you safe as Crom sends forth doom from his mountain seat. Christian, you get us. Just an absolute mountain of curry. And just a mountain of Sapporo Ichiban. Come on, man. And then fruit snacks going everywhere, Halloween themed. Oh, and then Rocky Top Toffee, what? Saltwater taffy. And then let's check out this light. It looks like a light bulb too. That's cool. This looks awesome. This is gonna become a staple. We just put headlamps up in the pockets to kind of light the tent, but this is great, man. This little rechargeable boy. Look at that. Oh, it's too bright. It's plastic. Okay, good. Oh, it has brightness settings. Great, and then you can just hook it on there. That is cool. Thank you very much, Christian. So I was going to say that if you're new to the channel, you might not know what all of this credo business is about. But it's been so long since I've explained what the origin story of credo was for us that there's probably many people who are like, what? Why do you guys say credo, and why is one of your Patreon tiers named credo? The first time we tried to film Adventure Archives, we went to Hocking Hills, and it didn't go very well. And part of the reason is the shots didn't look very good because we didn't put enough effort into them, and we didn't get enough shots. It was pretty crowded, so we were pretty self-conscious about talking on camera. So Andrew wrote up a creed. It was an actual document that had always get the shot even if you're feeling tired, don't be lazy, get a good shot, put the effort in. Lots of little stuff like that that basically amounted to, don't be lazy, put the effort in. Subsequently, every time we filmed, we would say, remember the creed. And that became remember the credo for some reason, and eventually morphed into remember the credo. And now credo is just a catch-all term for doing the little bit extra that will make the final product better, even though it's gonna be a little bit of pain in the current moment. And lately I feel like I've been forgetting that so many things, it takes more effort. There are no shortcuts for some things. You just gotta put in the credo and go for it. And I figured it's time I need to put credo back in here to monitor me and to make sure that I'm actually putting in my full effort, even when it's inconvenient, even when I don't feel like doing it, because that's how you get something that's, if not actually good, at least something you can live with and say, I put everything into that. We also kind of joke that credo is a vengeful god, and if you do not do enough to appease him, he will make it rain and he will make your life difficult. And anything bad that happens in your life is because you did not appease credo. With that all being said, it is time to appease credo. Let's write some music. Let's put our full effort into it. Let's sit with it, man. You gotta wrestle that pig. It's not gonna come easy. Why should it come easy? So many things in life don't come easy. You gotta work at it. Let's work. We got the energy, we're healthy. All right. Okay, another music track is now finished. That's 2 songs written for this episode. Music writing has not gotten any easier. Some days are better than others. The last 2 days have been pretty good. But one difficulty that I have finally eliminated is I no longer worry about making songs that sound like my songs. There are how many billions of people on the planet and how many millions of people who write music. They are all going to write different music than what I write. And there's no reason for me to bang my head against the wall trying to write music that doesn't sound like me, when I can just write the music that sounds like me, and maybe within the pool of songs that I have written, maybe from song to song they sound very similar. But my music sounds pretty unique compared to what other people would write. But I've been doing this for over 10 years now, and at least for me, I'm always continually surprised and delighted by the different little things that I discover that I can do. I'm like, oh, let me try this. And maybe that doesn't deviate too far from the core of what my music sounds like,
but it always excites me and makes me happy. So hopefully it makes other people happy too. Okay, we're gonna continue writing music this week, but that's it for today. I'll see you in the next one. Hello, welcome back to the vlog. Today we will be writing more music. But first, we must talk about the Analog Pocket. I got one of these when it first launched back in like 2021. It is essentially a Game Boy that you can use real cartridges on, or you can put ROMs on here, and you can play so many different things on here. Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, Game Gear, bunch of different arcade games, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, TurboGrafx 16. And all of it is hardware emulation, which means that the latency when you press the buttons is the same as if it were an original console. And if you have the little dock, you can just put it on the dock there, use any third-party controller, and you can control it. It's wonderful. So this came out like 4 years ago now, and I haven't really used it that much. But I saw this YouTube video by a channel called Caffeine and Consoles, and he was talking about the Analog Pocket, and I was like, man, yeah, the Analog Pocket is amazing. And then he was talking about Minish Cap, and I was like, I have Minish Cap, and I have not played this game since 2003 when it first came out. And I was like, yeah, I should pick that back up. So I busted out the Analog Pocket I've been playing on here. First of all, Minish Cap, amazing game. One of the best Zeldas. Second thing, you can't do this on every console on the Analog Pocket, but at least on the Game Boy Advance, you can just press power and it goes to sleep. You press power again, it wakes up, and you're right where you left off. Oh, that is fantastic. And it has save states. Also, again, not for every console, but for Game Boy Advance, it does have save states. Third thing, I bought this 8BitDo M30 to play Panzer Dragoon, but I didn't really use it for much else. And I was like, oh, let me try this out again. This D-pad on the M30 is so good. What a D-pad. Oh, I did not own a Sega Saturn growing up, so I did not know the majesty of the Saturn D-pad, but I remember always hearing people say that the Saturn D-pad was so good. They were correct. What an awesome D-pad. Anyway, long story short, the Analog Pocket is having a bit of a renaissance for me right now. It's just so small, portable, and the dockability where you can play it on a TV is fantastic. I love being able to do that. And Minish Cap, wow, I have not played it in 22 years, but it holds up so well. But we don't have time for that right now. Let's get writing music first. Actually, you know, maybe we should beat this boss. We are on a boss right now. Let's beat the boss and then we'll get to music. You know how it goes. Okay, that's 3 songs down. For the last few episodes, I've been getting about 4 songs ready before I start editing. And then once I get into the editing process, I use those 4 songs in a mixture of old songs, and if I need to write any songs, then I write as I go. But at least I have those 4 new tracks that I can use as a basis to get like a nice new feel for the episode. Tomorrow, I would like to write the opening track, because I like to have a new opening track and a new ending track for every episode. I haven't done that every time, but I like to have that. So we will do that tomorrow. Anyways, back to the Analog Pocket topic. I also have Golden Sun, Final Fantasy VI Advance, and the Easy Flash 4 ROM cart. I think after I finish Minish Cap, I'm gonna play Golden Sun. I played this back in the day. I remember specifically playing it before band class started in like 2001, when did this game come out? 2000 or 2001, and I never finished it. This is actually Andrew's old copy. I stole it from him, but I'd like to go back and finish that at some point. Final Fantasy VI, there's always time for Final Fantasy VI. But the Easy Flash 4, why do I have this? The Easy Flash 4 is a ROM cart, which basically lets you take any of these Game Boy Advance cartridges, dump them to this one cartridge, and then you can play all of the games that you've dumped onto this in one cartridge. The Analog Pocket lets you do the same thing with an SD card in the side. However, the Analog Pocket has some cool display filters, but you can only use them with an actual cart. you can't use it with the ROMs that you put on this. So if I use this flash cart in conjunction with this, I can have the original display filters. That piece of information may or may not be interesting or useful to you. But what that got me thinking was, there are many people who don't think about this stupid. They just play the game in blissful ignorance of any of the quality of the visuals, any of the lag. They don't care. They're just happy to play the game, and they don't have one of these brains that focuses on these details that, I mean, they can matter, but in many ways, having a brain like this that pays attention to stuff like this is not a recipe for being happy. Don't get me wrong, I love playing on stuff like this, and I love the pursuit of getting the best visuals and the lowest lag and the perfect form factor and the perfect screen. But in many ways, I do envy people who do not have brains like this. They just, they just kind of like, they're happy with it, And everybody's a nerd about something. So there are many things like that that I just don't care about at all. And I'm pretty thankful for it in a lot of ways. But sometimes I have to pull myself from the edge and be like, yo, this is fun, but don't get too lost in all of it. Have a little more balance in your life. Focus on all those little dumb details, but also, play the game, And just don't worry about the details sometimes. Let the details go sometimes. Although, when it comes to my work, I will not let the details go. I refuse to let the details go. The details matter, and I will focus on them. To my own detriment sometimes, yes, but always to the benefit of the final product. Anyways, that will do it for today's vlog. Thank you very much for watching. As always, hope you have a good one. See you in the next one. The Easy Flash 4 is a ROM cart, which basically, I think after I finish Minish Cap, I'm gonna go play Gold. I think after I finish Minish Sun. I think after I finish Minish Cap, I'm gonna play, Jesus Christ.